Hey guys, it's Sun for Games, and Final Fantasy 15 has been uncovered. Or something. Taken off those covers. Sexy thing. Apparently a full-fledged CGI-rendered feature film and a 5-episode anime series will be released in preparation for the game, which is awesome. Along with that, a dream sequence demo was made available, so I had to check it out and get my first time with the engine and the battle system. This is my first run with the game in any shape or form. I didn't have access to the previous demo, the Dusky? I don't know. The big one that you get if you got Final Fantasy Type 0. So let's get into what the new one is and what it isn't. It opens up with a confused young Noctis awakening in a strange clearing in a jungle or forest, unsure of where he is. Luckily, your local neighborhood Carbuncle finds his Samsung Galaxy S15, I guess. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like super frustrated that an expensive phone is in this thing's mouth. Slobbering all over the hardware, teeth marks all over the screen. That was literally my first reaction. I was just pissed off that Carbuncle picked it up with his mouth. I don't know how. Doesn't he have magic? Can he like Carbuncle's Ruby that shit over to Noctis? Anyway, it's a dream, so whatever. It's not even real fun, but it's not the point. Continuing on, I got a feel for how the movement was going to work. It feels nice moving along the forest trail. You can jump, you can move left, right, forward. Feels natural. Feels good jumping from stone to stone, collecting these energy bubbles. I don't know if that's going to be a gameplay element once the game starts. I don't think so, but I don't know. All of these unlock various plates that showcase some of the incredible real-time effects that can be displayed by this engine. Time sped up as it shifted from day to night and back again in seconds. Weather shifted dramatically from a beautiful sunny day to a downpour to like just dreary overcast with no reloading, no changes at all. It was all very impressive, but had me mildly annoyed as it was basically a tech demo of the features of the engine. The first time I stepped on one of those switches, I was like, oh, time sped up. Is this important for a puzzle? Did I activate a puzzle? And then I realized there are like 4 more switches that are like, time sped up, it's rain. I was like, oh, not that it isn't impressive. And it has me very excited, and exploring dangerous areas with exciting dynamic weather occurring at random moments could be very cool, and I'm super pumped about it. But there were literally weather buttons, just like I'd step on it and be like, rain, observe, isn't this amazing rain? I'm like, yeah, games have done rain before, I'm super pumped, but I wanted a Final Fantasy 15 demo, not just like, look what we can do with the rain. Fog, sunshine. Other moments with these plates display massive summons, like a Leviathan rising out of a distant lake and flying overhead before kind of shimmering into nothingness. Maybe Titan? I don't know. It's a massive Titan, but he's skinnier than the one I'm used to. Fat Titan. He glares at you from like the distant end of a cave, kind of like looking in, and Garfunkel's like, don't worry, he's fine, he's a gentle giant. He's like, "Rrr." Again, all incredibly cool looking. Then we do this Alice in Wonderland thing. We drop down through a hole in the water, and we kind of appear in this gigantic version of a room. It looks like Noctis is shrunk down to super tiny sizes. Even Carbuncle is like massive compared to tiny Noctis. There's giant toys, books, a huge table, and it all looks amazing. I'm not really sure what they're trying to showcase here. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing that would fit in a Final Fantasy game, but it's super amazing. Just visually. You can activate this truck and drive that around the area. It's very cool. The controls for driving seem fine. It seems like that'll be a fairly large aspect of the game with the car that all the characters are driving around in constantly, so it's good that it feels pretty good to drive that thing around. I didn't drive it that long though, I immediately got out. The physics of the world seem very fleshed out. I knocked over some blocks and other blocks came tumbling down after it. I like smacked a ball and it went like flying away. They bounce around believably. You also start getting some more opportunities for some actual fights here. With 2 weapons, you've got the basic sword and a little crappy, funny looking hammer. And then 2 spells. You got a thunder spell and the fireworks, which is just like a little bit of an explosion, like a tossed item. It feels very fluid, very responsive, very action-y, and very much like a Kingdom Hearts. Not that that's a bad thing. I could definitely enjoy playing a game with this style of combat for the full game and really enjoying the whole experience, especially if it has a Final Fantasy style story. I really do feel like somebody in the back room was like, guys, we did really great with Kingdom Hearts. People love Kingdom Hearts. What if we made a Final Fantasy game with the Kingdom Hearts combat? He's got an idea. But I'm interested to see how these 4 weapon ability slots kind of pan out in the final game. Will I slot in Thunder when an enemy is weak to Thunder? Are weaknesses even a thing in this Final Fantasy?
He's right! Let's take the broken crumbles of Final Fantasy 13 Versus. Combine with Kingdom Hearts and the prettiest graphics we can muster. It'll sell like hotcakes.
I just hope they retain some of the depth of the abilities and spells that we've seen previous Final Fantasy iterations But maybe that's just not the kind of game that this is. I'm used to spells like Demi and Sleep, Reflect, like, are they still gonna be around? But I could see often changing out which weapons you're using, what abilities you're trying to put into play. Could make the game combat feel a lot fresher as this long 40 to 50 hour experience that they're toting continues on. I don't think fast-paced action combat is a bad thing. I just hope they don't totally throw away this universe they've crafted and all the amazing abilities and spells over the years that we've come to love and expect in Final Fantasy. Yeah. The next area is this nice little town, city, or village of some kind, and you fight your way through, killing a variety of simple enemy types. Again, the weather comes back with a lot of switches that change the weather around, as well as a new switch that changes you into an enemy monster. I don't know if that's actually going to be a gameplay element in the Final Fantasy 15 like final version, or if it's just some cool thing for the demo. But it was kind of fun switching to like this winged alligator thing and just chomping at things. I don't know if that's gonna be a thing. It'd be kind of funny if one of your abilities was just like, I think I'll just turn into a Marlboro. Bad breath, bad breath, bad breath, bad breath. Finally, you end up in this modern square that Carbuncle refers to as the Citadel. He's like, something's wrong, this doesn't feel right. You end up fighting this huge enemy, and honestly, the opening scene where you start engaging in this battle is pretty badass. It makes me super excited for Final Fantasy 15 as a whole. But the enemy itself honestly kept kicking my ass. It wasn't until I attempted to fight a second time, you can reactivate it and attempt it again, that I realized I could like teleport around. I could try out the teleportation stuff that I'd seen in all the trailers. I just kind of forgot about it when I'm like in the process playing demo. But it's super crucial because as you teleport to various vertical locations, you heal your character. Your MP, your HP comes back, and the MP is super important because that's how you dodge and do, I'm assuming, a lot of other activities. The teleporting seems to require MP, so I'm not really sure what you do if you are out of MP and then forgot to teleport away. Point is, I'm not very good at it, but it does seem very well polished and a lot of fun, and I'm super excited to see it in the final game. I just it feels like they sort of threw you into a boss fight, and they're like, I hope you know how to do this, and I was like, I don't know how to do this. I think I was so excited to see as much as the demo had to offer that I didn't really pay attention enough to the little instructions they were giving, like, you could do this and this. I'm like, yeah, get out of my way, I gotta do this stuff. And then I got to the boss battle, and I'm like, why didn't you tell me what to do, game? When it probably did. It told me what to do. I just didn't listen. We didn't listen. It was really impressive visually, and I'm glad to experience a little bit of the combat. I'm just a little let down because of how awesome and amazing the last demo was. And I was hoping to see a little more of the game world with this demo. Which, I mean, they showed me 4 areas. I can't really complain. The newest announcements and trailers, along with this demo, definitely have my hype juices flowing, but we'll have to wait until September 30th to see if Square Enix can actually turn this series around, or if we'll end up with another Final Fantasy 13. I really hope not. This game looks really awesome, but they're definitely taking it in a whole new direction, and whether or not they can just nail that in the first try, we'll see. They seem to really have the Kingdom Hearts formula down, so if they can bring that combat into a Final Fantasy-like story, I think I'll enjoy the game, but there are definitely going to be a lot of people that are disappointed that the old style of combat is totally gone. I have a feeling that style of combat's going to stay away from Final Fantasy from now on. They're making games like Bravely Default, and the follow-up to that, Bravely Default 2? Bravely Second. It's called Bravely Second. That have a very classic Final Fantasy feel, a party of 3 or 4, and you're gaining spells like Fire and Cure and Protect and stuff. It's just weird that they've gone so far from that formula. But I still think it could be a really fun game. I'm still super excited about it. The story was my favorite aspect anyway. As long as they do a really good job with that and that the gameplay is fun, that's all I ask. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the demo. It's free for everyone, so go download it on the Xbox One or the PS4 if you have either one. And hit me up whether or not you think the series is just totally screwed regardless. I hope not. Subscribe if you're new. I've got plenty of videos coming each week. I'm going to continue to follow Final Fantasy 15 as we get more news and get closer to release. I can't wait. Thanks for watching. I think it's kind of funny. I know it's a dream, but it's kind of funny to think of Carbuncle like texting you in a dream. You want to meet up later? Summon me when you get to the restaurant after you get a table. Asshole Carbuncle. You get a table.